Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Second Thought Africa. Welcome to our Saturday Talk, the kitchen table, where we discuss everything about our daily life, where the ingredients of life takes place. Today we will be talking about Liberia. Liberia is on my mind, and the United States and the leadership of Liberia and the leadership of Africa. And the crack foundation that the nation was built on, and the lies of the leadership and the continuous lies of the leadership that continue to plague the nation, and our decision to continue to choose those that we choose to lead us. You know, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Plato Republic, but before we talk about Plato Republic, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play this song with Taquan J. They Lied to Us. Before I play it, I want to open this show with this video right here. I want you all to listen. Okay, yes, this particular one. I want you all listen up. We are again in the news, superstar Liberians.
These people are not coming as prisoners. As these people are not coming as prisoners. Information Minister Paya says they will be allowed to seek asylum in Liberia if they choose, and they can leave Liberia if they're able and wish to go elsewhere. The Liberian government is actually framing this as a humanitarian gesture, saying the country has a long-standing tradition of providing refuge, and that these individuals will be given support and protection while they're in the country. But my people, 1,200 people is not exactly a small humanitarian gesture, is it? And Liberia isn't doing this entirely on its own. It says the United States has agreed to provide support to Liberia to manage the program and strengthen the country's migration system. The obvious question is, what kind of support and how much, right? Because that's where this story starts getting even more interesting. And to understand that, we need to look at what exactly Liberia agreed to and what has been happening between Washington and Monrovia behind the scenes.
Quietly away from the cameras, the United States has been deporting migrants deemed persona non grata. Many of them are destined for Africa under secretive third country deportation agreements with government officials. South Sudan, 8 deportees, all convicted criminals. The deportation happened after a legal battle that saw the U.S. migrants diverted to Djibouti for several weeks. Eswatini, 5 migrants, all of them convict. However, the government there is facing lawsuits from human rights activists for allowing it to happen. The African nation says it is holding the deportees in solitary confinement until they can be repatriated.
Now, let's be clear. Liberia has said on record that this agreement is not a quid pro quo. In other words, the government says it did not demand payment from Washington in exchange for taking these deportees. However, Liberia also acknowledges that the United States will provide support to manage the program and strengthen Liberia's migration system.
Okay,
so what exactly
I want to go back again about how your government lies. So let's see.
The deportees in solitary confinement until they can be repatriated.
Now, let's be clear. Liberia has said on record that this agreement is not a quid pro quo. In other words, the government says it did not demand payment from Washington in exchange for taking these deportees. However, Liberia also acknowledges that the United States will provide support to manage the program and strengthen Liberia's migration system. So what exactly does that mean, really? How much support? We don't know. What exactly will America pay for? We don't know. What happens if some of these
Okay. So the first thing is we have to establish is you're being lied to by your government constantly. You're being lied to. Okay. You're being lied to. Or they don't understand what they're talking. Or they do understand and they're willfully trying to deceive you. So now here what we're gonna do, we're gonna start this conversation with Takunje and then we'll take that from there. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, let's play this. Just listen for a second, you can share. A few things I'm going to talk to. Hi, Sis Veronica. Yes. The other countries are protesting. They don't want that. What I like to talk about, I have to ask a few questions. And I'm sure the human rights lawyers in Liberia, the civil society in Liberia. The civil society do not just work. The last time we saw civil society in the courthouse when what's her name? Finda Bono was taken. The big people get civil society to show up. When the little boy was raped, civil society don't stand up. Okay. We identify who, okay, is a nonsense to the society or menace to the society. There's no standard of morality. And they thought that Pia would say, we have always been a rescue nation. That would be truth. There's some truth to that. But the people who came to Liberia were people who live in their own country and that were being persecuted. They weren't people that the government has said they're this, they're that. They were not people who were claiming human rights abuses. Okay, they are not people who have been in jail for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, as we're learning that some of them have been abused and have their own trauma to mix it up with our trauma. How then do you explain this to the Liberian people? You were here to lobby. You agreed to pay $5 million. You put $1 million on the paper. The consultancy and all of that, you didn't talk about that. You didn't talk about that. You also told the people that Liberia is not ready to take in the rest of their people, okay, that are here on temporary papers because there are no jobs, there's no this. And you are not prepared to work hard to have a strategy as to how we get out of this. Now, let's play Takonji. I'm going to let you play for a second, and then we're going to take this from here. This, we have to talk about this. Folks, I'm going to put a number up today. You can call if you want to. You can come on live. We can have this conversation. And I'm going to start inviting people over here for us to start having conversation with individuals. I have a few people in mind I'm going to invite. And we'll try to grow the platform and just have conversation with people and get everybody input. There we go.
Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta whip us some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, so the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not the world. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach in DNA unique, they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to beef? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the government. No one to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have.
Well, we have no copyright to this music.
Where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us so. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the government.
We have no copyright to this music. This is Takonje. This music is it is our reality. It's very much relevant today. I want everybody to understand that this music is very much relevant today. This music with Takonje is very, very much relevant today in our today's political environment and dispensation. Okay, and I will always bring this home to Liberian people, because when we talk, they say everything is not politics. Everything is politics, whether you believe it or not. Here it is. When the philosophers who crafted and were talking about politics, when people like the Plato of the world, when you talk about people like the Socrates, they were talking about the greater goods for a nation, for the people, for the greater population of the nation, not for a little segment of the people. All right. And then I'm going to come back to how we intend to build this nation. You know, today we are here and people are reaching out about what is happening in Liberia in respect to with the former leadership, the CDC-led government, and all of that. And we sat here, since Veronica, you were here, we sat here. We talked to young people. We talked to Wia. We talked to Joel Howard Taylor. We talked to Jefferson Koji. We advised. We did everything that we could. And they would say, you will stay long inside. Okay? To the point, just like they're calling me now to crush me up, not CDC per se. Okay, now I want you to listen. I listened to a philosopher yesterday who said, all money cannot be good money. Not every money that you must take. Not every money you must take. Now let's talk a little bit why I believe these people lie. Number one, these people were bringing the drugs money in Liberia. Speaking of drugs, I listened to Abraham Darius Dillon at the CEO yesterday or the day before, and were trying to intimidate people. He said it was not intimidation, and threatening people. Anyone who says, okay, anyone who says there are drugs somewhere, or is the big people, the person who should be arrested and taken to court to show where is that. You know why that happened the last time? Samuel Kanyado. Papa Boaka, listen. You may not like the way I talk to you, but I love my country more than I love you. I will respect you when I believe you respect the nation. I want you to know that. Brother Dennis, you're welcome. The last president that said that was Samuel Kanyado, because his advisor, okay, the John G. Ramsey of the world, the Henry Maliba of the word, okay? The Charles Zulu of the word, the George Bode of the word, okay? These people told him, if one person cause problem in the Makante, make sure everybody disappear and go on the air and tell the whole world. It's recorded. I'm not saying it, okay? Though they have experience, though were young, I'm not making excuses for him. But the very people who were plenishing the nation, who were watching the nation die, told him, anybody who say rebel in Nimba, arrest them, let them show the rebel. Darius DeLong, quoting the Bible, they're not intelligent. All of us memorized the Bible. Me, I knew all, I don't know what, 66 books, and knew how many pages were in it because we were forced. It was not by choice. Okay? Because on every other day, we have Bible study, Wednesday, Friday, or in between, we went to church, and in between, we have to say prayers, and we have to remember Bible verses. And I have a brother who, at the time, young, very rebellious. He memorized 2 Bible verses. I know he is intelligent, and I know he knew many Bible verses, but he chose to repeat those 2 Bible verses. Number 1, Jesus wept. Number 2, Solomon 8:8, for we have a little sister in time, and she has no breast. In time of marriage, what do we do for our sister? And Jesus wept, John 11:35. That was his Bible. Every time our pa got mad at you, Oma got mad at you, you will say, but Papa, you say that different Bible's voice every day. They're not the same Bible's voice that I said on Wednesday. So we live in church, that AGN church that were on the road right there on Calais Junction, that the place I got baptized at the age of 13. You know who baptized me? Bishop Winker. When he was still Holy Ghost filled, he was not money hungry. Those are my godparents. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. And when they make mess, they talk mess during we are time, I call him out to the people that people started calling. And my mother, and that your daughter godparents, Liberia is bigger. So I will call Boaka out. Okay. I will call Boaka out. Darius DeLong, y'all send this to Darius DeLong. I was one of those people very instrumental in Darius DeLong joining here. I don't care about anything else but doing the right thing. It is the people's freedom of speech. It is their right. It's enshrined in the Constitution. For you to try to use jail and intimidation and telling them they cannot say, how then do you get information from the public? How? That just means you shut up and sit down and watch your children die. Darius DeLong took his children out of Liberia. The one that was left. I'm not even sure if your wife is still in Liberia. Darius DeLong is a millionaire from where he came from with $3 in the account. This is not an attack on him. These are facts. Okay? These are facts. So when y'all say you're politicizing, the political environment create the environment of any nation. That is governance. That is the political environment. Okay? None of us had issue talked about Pape Boaka when he was not in power. I will speak to Joel Howard Taylor, but I want to speak to this. Hey, Mr. Johnson, all right? Darius DeLong studying that anyone who comes up and accuse anyone, that person should be arrested and questioned. You who's supposed to be a damn lawmaker, a freaking lawmaker, and you are telling the government and somebody who have influence that violate the Constitution. But we see how you are violating the Constitution. Let's find out. What was the role of the legislature in the signature or the signature that gave warranty to the United States government to bring in foreigners who are not Liberian national to come to Liberia, that according to Donald Trump, they were criminals, they were this, they were that. You have a nation that is in peril. You have a nation, at least 1 million of your population is strung up on narcotic, different type of drugs. Your bowlers are polarized. Okay? And then we sit. Let me say something to you. The problem with Liberians is we make decisions. Then when the decision we make require accountability on our part and people that we elect, we start deflecting. Then we go back. When we elected, instead of holding, we are accountable to do the right thing. We say 2023 coming, 2023 coming, because we don't want to deal with the consequence of the environment what we have created. What we have created is the object of our thinking. We cannot change what we have created unless we change our thinking. The mind is the most powerful thing. So we can start projecting an election coming. How do we know we're going to survive to meet that other election? Okay. I'm here today. It's one less day left for my what? 3 scores plus 1. It's now one more day. One less day. That's how we must see this word. All right. But I'm going to play this other video. The lies that they're telling us, that they continue to tell. I'm not sure if they're near peer. Okay, and I'm making this, and I keep saying that I'm trying to finish my program because there are a few things that I need to do. Number one, I need to sue Mike Jabate. He threatened me, and I feel threatened in Liberia. Number two, I need to write the Kennedy School of Foreign, whatever it's called. Everybody that they are educated, that they call the Kennedy School of Policy, that have come to Liberia have been a failure. They have failed miserably. They are entrenched in corruption. They lie straight face. They have produced nothing. Harvard supposed to be where the cream de la cream goes. But they paid, our country paid and guaranteed their job to come here and go to school, just to come back and wear bow tie and lie out of their mouth, and they create nothing. Nothing. So let's play this other video here that I pulled up earlier. Okay, I want to play this video. I want you to listen. I want everybody to listen. How the world sees you. And this is how you project yourself or how you present yourself as Liberians. This is how we present ourselves. Yes. I want you to listen. Listen keenly. Please share the video if you are here. And those of you who have logged in, I want to say thank you for logging in. Let's play this video. I want you all to listen, and I will carry back in
Trump's relationship with the African continent, especially where third-party deportations are concerned. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Okay, I mean, Femi, I don't know, but what's the deal in need for Liberia? How much are they getting? Because
they said it's humanitarian.
No.
That's what they said.
Or is it because Trump's?
Okay, so I'm going to start here and explain something. That for our people to open their mouth and say this is humanitarian, we have always taken people in. Okay? Nelson Mandela was fighting for freedom for his nation. Miriam Makeba was banished from her nation, South Africa, during apartheid, during slavery. Okay? The Margaret Garvey of the world, the place was colonized. They were going through the same struggle that the free men from the Free Men Bureau came from, the former free slave of America came from. That was the essence of their coming. They were looking for refuge. The very people who took refuge in America, and the government decided that they will incriminate them or they will throw them in jail, or the very criminals per se. Okay? So, hey, Collie, hey, says Jamicho. Now, that's why we must tell our own story publish our own history and start following. Listen, science is universal. Math is universal. History is not universal. The hero is the person with a pen. And the white men tell you the story, like growing up. And I'm here thinking about Dr. Raptel that spoke a year ago at the Liberia Independence Day, and start thinking about Lima Bowen, the story that she also, when she spoke 2018, 2019. We all need to go back and listen. And we thought she was radical. I thought so too. But as I could grow and start sitting back and listening to what she said, all right, this right here is to lie to the people. They are lying straight face, all right? Quid pro quo literally means this for that. You do this for me, I give you this, or I give you this, you do this for me, or you take this, I take this. That's what quid pro quo is. That easy. The simplest we will say this for that. We're exchanging. So to say if for humanitarian, we're humanitarian. Humanitarian, how can Liberian people, how do your government put a straight face and say, let me stop there and talk to you so you can see my face. How can people that you're trusted to vote for say to you in your faces when your sisters' bodies are being found in the street and nobody can claim it? Laying down, hungry, and people pass by them. Your brothers and sisters are going to the farm, being bitten by snake because they live on the farm. While your government official generator alone get $2,000 plus $3,000 a month. While your speaker of the house, okay, get $500,000 just for entertainment. Why? But this is a dereliction of duty. And you, as a citizen who elected them, then you bow down and worship them. You, the citizen. Then you deflect and say, any election coming? 2029. How do you know you'll be alive 2029? How do you know you will be seen 2029? Yes. How do you know that you will not be sick in 2029? God forbid. How do you know? Solomon George, who was cursing people all over this place, when the people elected him, he didn't listen. I remember when that little 16-year-old little girl was studying her milk can in her community, Crown Hill, and they big guy came and said, you take all the milk can and they ate it. And said, come for your money. The girl went to the door. He grabbed the lady, carried her in the plane, and molested her. She was bleeding because she was still a virgin. When the man joined him to fight, the people came and said, oh, leave the man alone, and I big girl there. When we got involved, instead of the police arresting him, Solomon George left his district, I think that his district too, and went to Crown Hill and told the woman, you are sedition. So you won't tell me you're trying to make our government look bad. How can you love somebody and how can they treat you like that and your child like that? Let me tell you something. Your parents have struggled for you, that have been there for you. If you have people coming and mouthing them and you laugh, they're taking a piece of you away, because that mother, that father, that person who took their time and gave you an opportunity to rise up, okay, that person become a part of your identity, especially your biology. And a mother, the child that you gave birth to, that cells is within you, that you can feed them when something goes wrong with them. A lot of people don't understand. When a woman carries the child, she just don't carry the child and drop the child. Half of that umbilical cord is still right there inside of you. the cell stay inside of you. As long as you live, even in death, you carry your parents' DNA or cell, some part. How can you love somebody, a political party, more than you love your child? Anybody who knows me, I've always said the only reason I'll go to jail in America is for my children. See how they lie to you? They're telling you this is for humanitarian purposes. Say 1847, no, let's go back. Say 1822, the abolitionist. Kim, say 1822, that you've been around. People have been supporting you, you have been begging. It has not changed. We are welfare babies, and we allow people to lie. And election coming. Okay, we can't continue to be a dumpy site. But I want us to finish this video. I want you to listen to this man. And people are making mockery out of you, all of us. Okay, it talks to our intelligence. It talks to our farsightedness. It talks to our patriotism. It speaks to our culture, who we are as people, our identity. And it seems like, if you ask me, we are more confused and traumatized than I ever consider. Let's go ahead here. Okay, is that the same video? Here we go.
So this English is very good. The president of Liberia's English is very good. There must be something they are getting. When the UK wanted to bring people to Rwanda, it was paid for, right?
They support projects and infrastructure.
It was paid for.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Nothing
in other cases, it's going to be paid for. So Liberia, that is already a poor country, just wants to do it for free.
Yeah.
Is it?
So now let's listen. Let's unpack this for a second. Liberia, that is already a poor country, wants to do this for free. Even the deaf man does not believe you. Julian Pierre, Joseph Boaka, Joy Maya Kum, Gafwan, even the person that is deaf, a hard of hearing, does not believe you. That is a lie. About 3-4 months ago, you took out hundreds of Liberians outside of the home. Some of them have been there before the war. And it says, so Nigeria men out of Nigeria, I'm sure they were trying to wash their drug money. During the war, came and bought property in Liberia. Under no circumstances that international law, okay, allow a peacemaker in a country in chaos, under duress, that you will buy property. They threw our people out. When the people that went back and forth to court, and some of the people carried their deeds, they came back. They broke down everything. And because they did not want for the people to come back, that was the way. You just did that. 72nd. You just broke down their homes, and it's there. You broke it down. But now you're taking in people, although Liberia have no housing. You got young people who are on drugs and living in water and ghettos, and there you are. All right? So I just want to amplify that it's a lie. You see, foreigners are telling you that you are a liar. All right? They're not Liberian people talking.
Is it because of the former American heritage they have?
Well, they're making it clear. It might not be for free, but they're saying that it's humanitarian. They've also made clear that there's no quid pro quo between the two of them.
There's nothing humanitarian about it. Are there Liberians there?
Where? None. None of the 1,200 are Liberians, but there are some Africans.
I mean,
and they have said that if they choose to stay in Liberia, they can do so.
People. So, see, Liberia did not choose that scientists should come to them. They didn't choose that intellectuals should come to.
Liberian, listen up. Listen up. I want you to listen keenly. I want everybody to listen keenly. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to come back to it. Liberia did not choose intellectuals to come to them. Okay? Liberia did not choose engineers to come to them. Liberia did not choose architects to come to them. Liberia did not choose doctor, lawyer on the following Liberia. So we're not talking about lawyers. We don't need coach. We need what we called geniuses of society, people who lay out nation, who project the future. You didn't choose them. You didn't choose any of those to come to them. Hey, Chris. And Chris, I agree with that. It may be the first time in a long time I will agree with you. Okay, you didn't choose them, and you're telling us you yourself you got over 4,000 Liberians in here in America. You were just here telling them that Liberia is not ready for them. The reason being there are no jobs, there are no sleeping place. Your people were put out of Ghana after being there for almost 40 years. You build no homes for them. You have nowhere to carry them. All right. You had them lay on crates, on cardboard. Some of them end up with pneumonia. In fact, the first thing that you all did was to say they all have diseases. Diseases Liberians around the world have to come and do. Okay. So let's finish this. Liberia did not choose that. You need people who can think. You need people. I'm not saying the people that come here now. You need people who can move back and forth. You need people who can be the face of your nation that people will want to do business with. And then you're talking, nobody coming. You're doing a project for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Everybody fighting Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and we are fighting over who did it. We see no plan of yours with any feasibility study that shows the timeline, the study, when we were done, who is accredited to, and all of that. We just see you cutting stuff and say, Nabuaka. You got a group of people like the one they call GMB son, jumping around like a little frog with no brain. I'm saying that. No disrespect to him. Telling us what is not. They play that role. My house does not have roles. We saw Uncle P putting a multi-million-dollar breakfast place. No role. We saw people with computer going to the southeast, the whole place. Y'all come back to defend and say, oh, that rainy season, snow, we move around. You say you did. Ibrahim Traore built a bridge, and a 60-meter road. It may not be long, but the bridge too. I don't remember how much it was now. I think it said, was it $1 billion? Yes. Okay. In 8 months, when they called the foreign people to come, they said it was going to take 6 to 8 years to finish it, and how much it was going to cost. He just built. They're able to go through the road that were broken down to Mali and do business. He's building a dam because of what he's doing. The other day, they were asking for 400,000. The people raised 400 million, not just his people, Black Americans, white Americans, people from across the world. When the rest of the people tried to take him down, assassinate him, now he's speaking up. He's saying, "Not build our nation." Today, all the children at certain age, just like when Israel was first founded, and they still do, at certain age, they all join the army to protect their nation. He's doing just that. Build them up, teach them their history. Not just build them up according to the white people history. He just did that. If Joseph Boakai, a landlocked country, like Burkina Faso, no water, no route, gotta go through Ghana, gotta go through this place, go place to get food to them. Now, They, in 3 years, they're food sufficient. They grow where they eat. Okay? The man still living in your old house. He's still getting his same old paycheck. So you didn't ask for that. You didn't ask for that. Look at what your people, we are the laughing stock. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know it was still playing. It was playing in the background. So I apologize. I gotta finish to playing it. I apologize. So I need to go back and just play it for y'all because I thought it was on the screen, but I was listening to it. So I apologize. So let's finish that. Okay, let's finish that. Thank you. I will. Okay, let's finish that. Here we go.
None of the
So what did you
1,200 are
mention
Liberians,
about
but
it?
there's some Africans.
I mean,
and they have said that if they choose to stay in Liberia, they can do so.
People. So, see, Liberia did not choose that scientists should come to them. They didn't choose that intellectuals should come to them. It's criminals. And they say if they choose. Why is there always bad things Africa used to attract? At least we heard the one from Ghana. There were some of our West African brothers, and that's why they collected them and they dispersed them immediately back here. So you just choose to get the hardened of the hardened criminals, and you say they choose to stay here, and you're telling me that there's nothing involved. They should investigate too. They should. I don't think there's something.
All right,
that we are
there
not
is
seeing.
something.
Okay.
Nothing goes for nothing. Al Jazeera reports
Yes.
that the US has committed $124 million to health infrastructure in Liberia. They also negotiated a visa deal last year that rather than 12 months, they extended to 36 months. 36 months visa extension. There's something in it for Liberia. There's no country that is altruistic to the extent that you're taking back returnees when your country itself has high unemployment rates. You have infrastructural challenges. Your annual refugee intake as a country normally is about 1,169, not up to the 1,200 in one fell swoop from the United States. It's not humanitarian alone. And I do think, going back to Rufai's point, that it's quite unfortunate that deals like this are entered into by African countries like this for gain. What they couch it under is that, we're going to support the process by contributing money because we know that there'll be administrative costs into having these extra people in your country. It is money. The worst part of it, okay, let's assume that they weigh the options and this is a gain for the countries, that oftentimes the money is not even spent for what it's supposed to be used for. If you look at the history, there will be no transparency, corruption will erode the benefits, and the people themselves who would have to live with the reality of scarce resources even becoming more scarce because more people are going for those scarce resources will not even benefit directly from it. So it's, there are laws, there are suits, lawsuits in the United States and in Liberia against this. Liberia, in terms of the legal part of it, is signed to the UN Convention of Refugees. So there are certain criteria that they must meet to ensure that these refugees will be well looked after and that they have the capacity to look after them and give them dignity of life. Can Liberia meet that threshold? That is the big question. There's no African country that the people themselves have not protested this, but the leaders have taken the decision to take whatever it is that Washington is giving them in exchange for accepting these deportees.
You are right. They are getting something to even help them strengthen their migration system. However, the issues we have seen in other countries in Africa about human rights, nobody in Liberia has raised those issues. Maybe those issues will still come to the fore and more details will be provided. But we still congratulate or thank Nigeria for refusing to be a dumping ground for the United States. Nigeria was one country that stood firm. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adefemi.
So Nigeria refused, okay? Nigeria refused. Liberia did not, although we're struggling. We're failed to reconstruct after the war. And we brought in a government that says they came to rescue. You know, when you rescue, you relieve. Our people have not been relieved. They have relieved themselves. They're living in luxury. Even the superintendent, the city mayor, everybody's facing the compound. And then our people show up to the compounds. Then they say that development. Listen, and I'm going to keep preaching this. No nation develop before its people. If the people are not the one to develop the nation, they eventually will become extinct or they'll become slaves. Hey, Fatu, all right? Eventually, they will become extinct or become the minority, struggling, while those who are enjoying or who is built for. Most Liberians cannot afford $2,000 a month rent. Most of your high places that you are, people are paying. Most Liberians cannot afford, $500 a rent. The common example is Nathaniel McGill. Musa was helping him and he became, what do you call it? Whoever he was to do. I mean, not to do, to all of a sudden he could walk to the bank and take almost a $300,000 loan and build a house and gain a mansion. All of them are rich. When you rescue, when you relieve, then you recover. When you recover, then you refund. So this thing does not repeat itself. That's what you do. I had a guy call me the other day to curse me in my inbox. Plenty of them do it. But this particular person is somebody that all of us were on We Are Till. And saying Walker became president when you thought he gets mad at you. You and he equal. No, he and I are not equal. He and I can never be equal. And here is why. His age does not give him the authority to abuse my people. His age does not give him the right not to be called out as the president of the nation when he does not do right. His age does not excuse him for doing wrong things and not be called out. I will call him out. You can bow down. You're elected, you can bend down, but I'm not going to. Now, y'all heard we're the laughing stock. You know, George Formula said one thing about a year ago when we were on Circle Show. He said Liberia does not need any outsider. This group of Liberians are the most educated ever since the country became independent. You want architects, they will line up in line, young, old. You want engineers, every version of engineers, they will line up for you in no time. So long you're willing to pay them well, to come to the country, they will do it. Travis is doing it now. You cannot ask a Nigerian, a Ghanaian, a Lebanese, and pay them $20,000 a month. But you call a Liberian out of the United States with 30 years experience and a master or PhD, and you want to pay them $2,000 and say, you can hustle. It's not going to work. Yes, they want to make the sacrifice for the country. But those of us who went to school in the United States, it's not cheap. There's no shortcut. You ain't got to sleep with a teacher. It's not $350 per semester. It's tens of thousands of dollars. Because knowledge is value, especially for us Black people, for us to make it. So you say you rescue, but you have not relieved. Our people are crying. They are harassing us, those of us who live in the United States. Our family who around our age, they're having strokes, they're having hypertension, they're having diabetes, they're having all of and some people don't want to go to the hospital because they have to choose between their health and eating. People are going out of their head. You come and say they're witchcraft. You start beating them in the streets and recording and posting it. This is how far we're going. But you're bringing in 1,200 people. You just pour out with no place for them to live. Since the war ended, where people lost their homes, where the place was being bombarded with bombs all over the place. You've done nothing to reconstruct. The first government came. We are king. I was sitting here talking to my brother. We are. The first thing y'all were cussing me. Oh, look at that one. She's not married. Look at that one there. You better go find me. Been married almost all of my adult life. All very young. Got kids going to the 40s. Oh, she wanted we are so we're like a brother. My mom called we are her son. We are they used to come to Georgia. My brother's house was right up the street where they used to come to. When Jefferson called you leave Liberia and go to Arizona, my brother's house he can be in. Until one day my brother had to tell him, you know, that woman that can give you hard time. You know, his wife have to tell that woman that can give you hard time that her younger brother here. He was shocked and she said no. Even if she saw you, she will not bother you. We are all connected. We are connected. We are connected. Now, who I want to talk about now, I'm going to graduate and I'm going to take the next 5 minutes and talk about Gregory Coleman. I need Liberian people to understand this. United States is not Liberia. Each department do not buy their own supplies. Even when I work for companies here, you have purchasing department. That's acquisition, okay? That's their job. You got a sales department, you got a purchasing department, they're under one department, but everybody got separate role. And they got qualified supplier lists that they purchase from. In Minnesota, let me just explain to you. In Minnesota, the police department do not purchase the vehicle. Okay? They do not purchase the vehicle. Say there's something from us at Roche now coming inside is huge. Okay? I want you to understand this. The police do not purchase the vehicle themselves. So if Russell told you that, that's a lie. Let me give you a quick, and this is documented. Is in many parts of the United States, police department use government vehicle, but do not independently control the purchase or the final sale. That's why you got government website for liquidation. When they have surplus material, you don't go like you're doing in Liberia. You know, earlier on under, I think, the Talbot regime and through Doe regime, that what the West Taylor were doing. We had GSA, General Service. You get car there, let my husband work. Okay, as a department head. They got plane, they got cars. You want to take a plane because we have to be covering certain mileage and certain time. You got to go sign up for a reservation. Just like me at my school, if I want to use the library to do show, to present, there is a scheduling there that I have to put my name down to see if it's available for me to use it. Okay, so you even want plane, you can sign it out. They will have pilot that will take you and it will bring you back. You want to sign up cars, they will do that. The police department here, the police department themselves do not order those cars. They do not sell it. If they have all that they need to change over, it's given back to the municipal. Okay, in the United States, Liberian people, you're listening. In the United States, we have the federal government. We have the state government. We have the local government. We have the municipals. Right here, eh? We have the municipals. All right? So let me finish reading there because I wanted to document it. Y'all know me. Here it is. Now, here it is. Police vehicles are generally public property. A city or county department, such as fleet department, procurement, finance, or property management, may be responsible for purchasing vehicle, maintaining ownership brackets, replacing vehicle, and disposing of vehicles that are no longer needed. Y'all want to remember that? What a police department, okay, when the police department no longer need a vehicle, it may be classified as surplus property. The government agency responsible for that property determine what happens next. Depending on state and local rule, the vehicle may be transferred to another department agency, traded in, sold through an authorized public auction, and otherwise disposed of according to established procedures. Okay, a police department generally cannot simply treat a government-owned patrol vehicle as a private property and sell it outside the authorized process. However, there is no single policy that applies to every police department in the United States. Okay, state law, we got state law and we have federal laws. I want Liberian people to understand that. And I'm glad Winfred clarified this on this program. And I'm going to play that also. Listen, I will say to all of you Liberians around the world who think you can just show up and lie. All right. Let me say this to all of you. And I will say again with no reservation and no apology. Joelle Howard Taylor is not my woman, has never been. And she will never be. I want you guys to stand this. But she's a Liberian. And she's a woman. And she has served in every, whatever the service were, but she has served in every capacity. She served as the first woman of Liberia, the first lady. She served as, acting governor of the bank or deputy governor of the bank. She served as the VP. Now, we got let that make sense of this government, each Liberian government. We got 1,200 people jumping on the plane coming. The same day Joelle Howard Taylor is going to the airport, okay? She's not informed that she's being investigated. You take a known criminal who have been chased out of America, trick people out of millions. You put him on the phone. Yes. I'm not biking her. I'm not saying she did or she didn't do it. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to put my neck on the line for her. I'm going to speak the truth as I know it from my stand as an informed woman, as somebody who learned history, as somebody who followed the pattern of Liberia, somebody who is educated, somebody who have traveled, somebody who have lived and almost 60 years old, my own life experience, okay? And I may not be her woman either, because the way I say things, a lot of them don't like me, but that's fine. I'm not here to please anyone. My eating bowl not in anybody's house, okay? Joelle Howard Taylor is on her way to the airport the very day that these people are coming. All right? You sent police to hijack her. This woman has vested interest in the country. She's not her flight risk. You have not informed her. You show her people straight searching her in her car, putting their hand inside of her twat. But I'm not surprised. Honor Gregory Coleman. Honor Gregory Coleman, a Liberian mother, was raped in broad day like pepper, finger with pepper in her punani. I realized he did nothing to find those people. And they lied and said the woman was hijacking motorbike. They came later and said it was mistaken identity. That lady is traumatized and in Ghana, not coming back to Liberia. Guess what? She supported Bouaka and voted for Bouaka. She and her daughter. Gregory Coleman did nothing. When the election, before the second round, Queen Johnson was in the club. She had held a young man down, beat him, bleeding, bloody face. He ended up dying. At the time CDC was still in power, when the police went to arrest her, Gregory Coleman called in and told the people they must leave her alone. They rewarded her, they gave her a job, although she can't even read at 5th grade level. And she all over cussing. Y'all want me to believe that's this lady who had over $20 million budget. Greek can cost a lot. Who have securities that follow her every day, had EPS, Executive Protection Service, assigned to her. Who also have NSA assigned to her, who have police assigned to her, were doing all of this dealing, and nobody knew about it. Y'all came to power. You're the one in charge. Y'all gave her security for 2 years. You ain't seen no happening. You put a man who America wants. You put a man who looking to deal with you. And you tell me, you call and say, let's do the deal. Yes, there was business being made, I believe. Y'all came out here and defended Jeremiah Kuhn. When his picture was in every picture with Biego, the drug dealer. We now hear Jeremiah Kuhn name, played it in me, and I see some of your record. Okay, we know. All right? But y'all defended him. Bouaka's son even visited, Bouaka himself visited Guinea-Bissau, the narco state. His son is in picture. They flew him to Casablanca or wherever they're talking to show him. We saw in Rawville where they brought their boat in. They dug a borehole. It looked like they were manufacturing there. You didn't bring the people in to investigate. Sir Joseph Group, you didn't bring them to investigate. The moment I'm not Joelle Howard Taylor fan, never supported her. Don't support her now. I want you people to be clear. But as a justice advocate, I must be judicial at all times. It does not matter. Whether I like the person, love the person, hate the person, it should not matter to me. The truth should be my truth. I should be able to sleep with my conscience. I remember the story with More Than Me issue. I remember when Joelle Howard Taylor came here, instead of pleading with America how to rehabilitate our children, she pleaded for her husband to be free. For a war survivor like me, it did something to my soul. But she still has a right to wear the Constitution into her innocence. And her service also to the nation. Yeah, it didn't change anything. We're still struggling. But then we also have to remember it set a precedent that when you serve, it does not matter. Tomorrow will come. Those who take power. There are no walls. There are no bridges. I'm not saying anybody is above the law. No. I'm telling you, a certain place, a certain time, not for her, but for the office. Protocols requires that you call her. Thank you, love. Out of courtesy, out of the office and the service she had provided. Okay? Why didn't you arrest Bergo and patrol him? Why didn't you arrest the King brothers and patrol him and you're telling all $19 million worth for drugs? That one person who behind it, who went and brought it, transported it, safeguarded it, kept it to his house. $300 and some more million worth of drugs. Now, not only the three guys. But I want to play this video before I go with Russell. Russell is a brother. He was a brother to my late brother. They did a lot of work together. Helped Minnesota, helped the Liberian community. So I want to send a message to him today. Russell, I know your brother does business in Minnesota. And all of a sudden, he's a big guy in Minnesota. Okay. I want you all listen. And I'm going to go. I stayed longer than I should. You'll listen right here. You'll listen to what I read. And I'm going to post it right at the bottom of this so y'all can read it on your own. All right? Y'all listen up.
I've said a few minutes ago.
You are advertising for the Liberian National Police.
Well, I don't know you would call it an advertisement. Like I said, I've said a few minutes ago here. And no, look, Stanton, we have a big issue here with this drug business and the drug cartel. So trying to confuse this issue with all these different things, I think is unfair to the Liberian people. But having said that, I've said this before, and I will say it again, that at no time did I say or have I been part of any conversation where Brooklyn Park Police Department donated cars, vehicles to the Liberian National Police. I don't know anything about that. What I've said to you before, and I've said to the audience and listeners, is that as a Liberian who has been very supportive of all government here, I made an introduction between the Liberian National Police officials and Brooklyn Park police official, and that was it. All of the other transactions, if there were any transaction that took place, I know nothing about it. I would direct people. I'm not a spokesperson of the Liberian National Police. Neither do I work for the Liberian National Police. I do not work for the Brooklyn Park Police Department.
I just understand. I just want to say, but you guys, no. Let me just say this, then I'll rest because you guys want to speak. Russell, my only question here, let's play the video again, and let's hear, then we'll put up the statement, then everybody will say that, look, everybody entitled to what they believe in this drugs part, okay? But let's play the video one more time, quickly.
Coleman, so the Liberian National Police just purchased these cars, they outfitted them here in Minnesota, and we're shipping them to Liberia for the Liberian National Police. The latest fleet for Liberian National Police.
So I will stop here. Hopefully, I'm live screening this and you guys are seeing it. Okay, hopefully, but I'm gonna stop here. Russell brother runs a garage in Minnesota. You cannot purchase vehicle from the Minnesota police. Not the government, no, you can't. Because the police do not buy their own vehicle. It's not a true statement. I'm glad he cannot debunk that. He can't. He just can't. Okay? That's not the way the system works. The system does not work that way. Now, my title today is never become stranger to your own truth. And that's where Liberians have become strangers to their own truth. Stranger to their own truth. Okay? Strangers to their own truth. You cannot give what you don't have. You cannot love people when you have no love for yourself. You can't. You can't. All right? And you watch it. Why would the Liberian police be buying a Suburban? Why? A Suburban, that's my old car. I'll post the one that I have bought brand new years back when my children were little. Why would a Liberian National Police buy a Suburban? It's a gas guzzler. That thing in Liberia, you would need at least $80 to $90 worth of gas to fill it up. And by the time you go up the street and come back, that's being wasteful. That's why the nation is not moving ahead. Why? Why does he need it? Now, let me disagree with my brother, Russell, a little bit. Russell, you say the drug issue is a problem? Yes, it is. And we're following the money. We're following the money. We are following the money. Anything that looks suspicious. Let me say again, I said that last month. And I will say it again. Gregory Coleman needs to recuse himself. Gregory Coleman is like a fly, the undercover or the double agent. All right. We have LDEA that's supposed to be in charge of this drug. He's supposed to take a step back. Gregory Coleman should be policing at this point. He should recuse himself. What we're hearing, and let me say that Darren said, "I come to Liberia, you put me in jail." We learned that the car that was divided, the president got one, the vice president got one, they got their share. We know the president went to Guinea-Bissau. We know his son is involved because the people say he's involved. We have not seen where he went and got arrested or were called in to be questioned and covered by the press. You got Musa's son in jail. Peace, ability. Peace. In jail. And when you collected him, that his father name you were winking. Just that the man didn't do a good job with his child. That the drugs you're introducing in the country, you're poisoning our children. That way you're used to fight the war. That way you're used to use our children. That's what it is. So I'm going to end this way. Liberia, this is to the lawmakers. Darius DeLong, I'm calling you to ask you a question. Darius DeLong, Jeremiah Kuhn, because you are in the Senate, you in the whatever you are, okay, the president of the House or whatever, okay. Sir Joseph, the rest of you, Nyan Flomo, Nyan Tuayen, Unokogasi posted. Who authorized the agreement? Because Bwaka cannot authorize a treaty with any other country without majority of vote from both houses, the upper and lower house. We are bicameral representation. So who did it? Who did it? So here will be my question. This is where I will start with. Liberia lawmakers, dear Liberian lawmakers, did you consent to this treaty, this deal that brought in bringing in 1,200 people into the country? Thank you, Lasso. I want to find out. Because according to our constitution, the president can make the deal, you can make the deal. But there must be the House of Representatives and the Senate, both lower and upper houses, should pass it, should have majority vote. It is a simple majority. It's a majority vote. So there's 73 in the House. I believe there's 30 in the Senate. Did you guys sign off on this? If you did, are the Liberian people in the know? What's the plan? Do you also know the status of these people in depthly? Do you know their crimes? Have you told the Liberian people? Do they know? Was there awareness in the country that you were bringing people that America deemed the criminals among criminals? Because the first people, the people that they're deporting to other that people not taking in, that where they are. Do Liberian people know? Do they have a means of protecting themselves? Those are my questions to you. Then the executive, both the executive and the legislature authorized it. If they did not, what says the Supreme Court? Because when treaties are made and it does not align with the law, the Supreme Court is the one with the power to say this is unconstitutional, we cannot continue with it. And that's why education is important. That's why they're sabotaging you. That's why they're making it expensive for your children to learn. So they don't have to speak up. They don't have to sound like me. They don't have to be like the Chelsea. They don't have to be like the Toby. They don't have to be like the Love, the Lasso to have a voice. Or the Letty Roberts and so forth. That's what it is. So I'm going to stop here. I am leaving. I believe I've done 1 hour and 30 minutes. Let me say to all of y'all, happy Saturday. I will try to see if I can get to Councillor Gonklo and get him on this platform. There's a need for me to talk to him and see what he is. But my last word to you is, Darius DeLong, listen and listen well. That advice what you're giving is the wrong advice. You are telling the president, the executive, to abuse Liberian people and abuse the constitution you're supposed to uphold. If Liberian people feel something is the freedom of speech, here in America, you come here. We can call our president out. We can call him Pity. We can call him whatever. That is our right to the freedom of speech. The last president who say, anybody who say rebel were here, or so and so, they will show the rebel will arrest them or do. That's the advice that we're giving to him. Those who do not remember history, they're doomed to repeat it. And we don't learn from history what we don't learn from history. So we continue to be on the rat race or on the roller coaster or what we call the merry-go-round. We can't get down. We are going in circle. We're not advancing. That's not progress. Age is not progress. In science, when we say grow and develop, development to reach your full potential, not just biologically. So have a good day. This has been our Saturday edition of Second to Africa Kitchen Talk. Everybody, good day. I'm trying to, I forgot to pull my YouTube. I'm going to change this to my new YouTube. Okay, everyone, I want to say a very big thank you for this Saturday. I was not supposed to have been here. I think you guys saw me last night at the airport. I had promised my niece to see her before school started. I bought the ticket, was excited, took half a day off, finished my work, my schoolwork, and here I am. Got to the airport early, 3, almost 4 hours early. They keep changing the flight. I didn't get back until 1 o'clock. I was so perplexed, and I'm still perplexed. Kezi, Auntie, I love you. This is a message to you. Auntie, I love you. Auntie, love you. That's how she calls me, Auntie. I love you, and I know you're disappointed, but we'll make it up. We will make it up. We have our lunch. We'll go with GB. We'll go walking. You will take me back to the park now that your legs are a lot more longer. How you call it? I'll come on. Maybe I'll come to in a week where I can come to your school and have lunch with you and just surprise you. I think that's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Auntie, I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.